Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. If you're listening to us, you want to watch us, go to our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Or if you'd rather listen to us, you can go to our website, thestephennightshow.com. As you remember, Ms. Parker, she's taking some extra time off as we came back last week. So we have, over the next couple of weeks, we have a guest, female co-host. Last week we had Savage, who did an amazing job. And tonight we have Blair. What's going on, Blair?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, doing well. So tell the listeners a little bit about you.
I am 27, just recently got married. I am a new mom. Well, not new anymore. She's a year and a half now. So yeah, I'm just kind of adjusting to wearing those two hats as a mom and as a wife. So that's me. That's my life right now. Quarantine, we can't really do much.
Right. How is that? How is it being a new wife and a new mom?
Honestly, it has its challenges just like anything else throughout the days. Honestly, being a mom full time, it's challenging, but I love every moment of it, and I'm just so thankful that I actually get a chance to spend time with my daughter. Not a lot of parents can say that. So
that's true. I'm
extremely grateful for my husband and all that he does for our family, and yeah, it's just awesome. I'm just enjoying the ride.
Well, congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
All right, well, our question of the day is, will you be watching the presidential debate tomorrow? Blair?
Yes, definitely. I will definitely be watching. I mean, every time Trump opens his mouth, it's always something. So I'm just gonna leave it at something.
Yeah.
But I'll be watching because I'm curious to see, what they're going to ask both candidates and how they're just gonna respond.
Yeah. What about you, Chike?
Listen, I'm all in. Any opportunity that I can have to witness somebody call him on his ish, I'm there. I want to see him humiliated on television.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. What about you, Naya?
No, I won't be watching. I will not be watching. I'm not interested. Sadly enough, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I know it's all a game, so I really just doesn't interest me,
I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm in front of my popcorn. No, because especially now with the news, we're gonna talk about it a little bit with his taxes and everything. I'm curious to see, because he wouldn't answer reporters today about that. So I'm curious to see if they ask him about that, and to see him and Biden go head to head, because Biden is seasoned and he knows what he's doing. This is not his first debate. Mm-hmm. And, Biden can actually go off the rails sometimes too. And, Trump's gonna be name calling, Sleepy Joe and all that. So I'm just curious to see how it all, plays out. But yeah, tweet us at home. Let us know, will you be watching the presidential debate tomorrow? Stephen Knight Show. All right, well, coronavirus update. We are now at 7.5 million cases worldwide with over 205,000 deaths. And as the world, we're approaching 1 million deaths, which is crazy. Florida has opened back up to 100% capacity, and they're not requiring any mask mandates, or in their cases are at 11%. They said that when the cases become 5%, that's when it's safe to open things back up. But for me, the fact that they're not even making people wear masks, that's crazy. But New York is also unfortunately seeing a uprise in cases as well, probably because things are opening back up. Now, Chike, obviously you working in the medical field. What are you seeing?
I really am not seeing anything outside of what has been going on. I know for us, they implemented something new. I think I told you before that we have to have our temperature checked at the door, and they're handing out masks at the door. So I guess the facility that I work for, they're basically like, okay, these people that have been at the door taking temperatures and checking at the door, we need them to go back to work. We need them to actually do what we're paying them to do. So they implemented this new thing where we have to put this app on our phone and answer questions before we get to work, and it pops up. It's like a checklist, and we have an item that pops up on the screen, and it says that we're cleared for the day. We have to actually show that at the door before we can come in. So there's no one really manning the doors like it was. They're just checking to see if we're okay or not. And it also takes the responsibility off of the medical facility. If we get sick, 9 times out of 10, with the way that they have it set up, we probably only really be able to get sick outside of the hospital. Because if we get sick, because they have something that they give us for quarantine. So if we get sick at work and it's COVID related, they send us home for 2 weeks. But the 2 weeks that we go home, if we get sick at work, they pay for it. Now they have it set up so if we get sick, it's on us, because technically if we're sick, it's before we even come into the building. So you didn't get it from here, you got it from out there, and therefore it's your issue, so you take care of it. So it's a way of getting around legalities, and it's also a way of getting around saving money. So it's again, we've talked about this before, it's about money. And I see that things will probably start to change all the way around as it relates to finances.
Yeah.
But it is as it ever was as far as the illness is concerned.
Yeah. And Blair, you're in Vegas, correct?
Yes.
What are you seeing out there?
Well, as of right now, I'm in California, but I live in Vegas. You know, in Vegas, we opened back up, I want to say about August, ending of July, beginning of August, I want to say. And I mean, in the beginning, when this all started, you know, you would kind of see people wearing masks, not wearing masks. And I'm just looking like, okay, you know, obviously something's going wrong if it's global. You know, let's just clean it up now before it gets any worse than what it is. But unfortunately, Vegas did get hit, you know, pretty hard, just like any other major city in the US. And I feel now they're starting to open back up with restrictions. I do not think the restrictions that they have are enough for right now. I do think that we should be on full-fledged lockdown until the end of the year. That's just my personal belief. But, you know, I get it. Like you said, it's all about the money. You know, the casinos have to open back up, you know, so on and so forth. I just, you know, as a mom, I have to do my very best to protect myself and my child first, you know, at all times. So that's part of the reason why I'm, you know, a stay-at-home mom at the moment, is because of the pandemic. I don't want to put my daughter in daycare. I don't really want to have anyone coming into my home watching her. It's no telling where they've been, so on and so forth. So I'm staying at home, you know, just doing that.
Well, I saw at one daycare, 18-month year-old gave it to one of the workers at the daycare.
Wow.
And that was like, wow, yeah, that young, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nair, what?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Nair, what are you saying?
Funny that you asked this. Today at the gym, I noticed that it seems like a lot of people were not wearing masks in the gym. And, you know, I know before you were required to wear a mask at the gym, and I didn't check the door and see if signs were moved or changed, or I didn't ask any front desk staff, but I did notice, you know, nearly everyone in the gym today was maskless, which I just thought was the most interesting thing. I'm thinking, you know, still not like in the clear, you know? So, I mean, I had mine on, you know, but I did notice that today in the gym, definitely, I noticed a lot less masks.
Yeah, yeah. You know, yesterday I went to brunch, and I will say, I mean, it's good to see places starting to open up where the numbers are not high. But I will say almost everyone I saw had on their masks, you know, going to their seats, you know, to be seated at brunch. At my gym, they actually have a sign that says you must wear a mask, but they don't enforce it, which is kind of crazy. But because they used to recommend a mask, but now it says you have to wear a mask, but they don't enforce it at all. I wear mine. The only time I'll take it down is like if I'm social distance from people, so I can breathe. You know, like if I'm doing the Stairmaster or treadmill or something like that. But yeah, when I'm walking through, you know, like a matter of fact, I went. I think it was last Tuesday. I was going to do chest, but because the area where the dumbbells are, it was so packed, I just did a whole different. I just did arms instead. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I'm glad to be back in the gym, but I'm not trying to risk it. You know what I mean? And now they're saying. Have you heard, real quick, I'm sorry, Chike, have you heard they're talking about these long-lasting effects of people who have COVID, where they're having all these different side effects, and they said that they'll have them the rest of their life. So it's not now just not COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically there's, once it affects you, your lungs are actually getting scar tissue, and that doesn't really heal. So you'll have those effects for the rest of your life. But what I wanted to add too is, as long as the head of this organization, meaning the United States, is promoting the agenda of herd immunity, you're going to see a lot of lackadaisical policies as it relates to that, because their agenda is to promote everybody getting it.
Yeah. Well, you know, the head of the CDC and Dr. Fauci, they all are kind of frustrated with the person that Trump has put, you know, over the task force, and that's who's giving him the information. They're saying that everything he gives is wrong. So apparently the head of CDC was on the phone on a plane, and someone overheard him saying everything he says is wrong. And so it's kind of hard to really, again, we're getting misinformation. Don't wear a mask, and it's coming from the top. You know what I mean? And so it's just, everyone wear your mask. Please wear your mask and social distance if you can. Speaking of 45, Trump. So yesterday, his 2 decades of his tax information was released. And it's shown that in the last 10 of 15 years, he has not paid any taxes. And in 2016, 2017, he paid just $750. He has, you know, touted himself on being this businessman that closes deals and whatnot. But the reason why he's gotten away with not paying taxes is because he loses so much money, tens of millions of dollars every year. He does that on purpose. So what he's paying, like the $750, that's equivalent to someone who makes $18,000 a year, what they would pay. Also, it turns out his daughter, under the Trump organization, he was paying her, she was on payroll, but he was paying her additional $1 million annually as a consultant, so it'll show he's making as much money. And so that's against the law, what he was doing. He owes personally, almost $400 million on loans he's taken for his businesses. When he was on The Apprentice, he supposedly was paying $70,000 a year on his hairstyles. I was watching The View today. Someone said, I don't know why, because it don't look good. But you know, they asked, how will this affect his supporters? His supporters, they're the most loyal people I know. And like, remember he said when he was running in 2016, I could shoot someone and I would still be elected. Do you think, Blair, that this in any way will impact his voters, the supporters? Will they care about this?
You know, I'm sorry, I get a little passionate about him. No, I don't. I don't believe that it's going to change their minds. I don't believe that they are going to stop supporting him or his kind, should I say. They, for some reason, I don't understand this to the life of me, but they are so loyal to this man. It's like every negative thing that comes out about him, they turn a blind eye to. Mm-hmm. They act as if he's almost a god. Yep. And I'm sorry, but I can't condone his behavior. I do not agree with how he's gone about his presidency. Everything about him is just, I'm just not, I can't see him as a leader for a country. Like, he's not someone that I would want to get behind. Mm-hmm. So that's yeah.
It's interesting. I was on Facebook, Chike, last week, and this girl I went to school with, she commented, well, she shared a post of where he said that if he loses the election, he's going to contest it. He's not going to leave the White House. And so I was reading the comments, and this other girl I went to school with, she talking about something that he's the better pick over Biden, and she doesn't agree with everything he does. And I had to comment. I said, over 200,000 people have died on his watch, and because he lied about how significant this pandemic was, that the coronavirus was. And I said, that's him. I said, the cities that are burning and all that, because she tried to say that Democratic cities. I said, we have a Republican president, Republican majority. The riots and everything has happened under his watch. So that she was talking about, she don't really pay attention too much to it.
Oh, wow.
But that's the scary thing, because those are the ones going to vote. Chike, what are your thoughts? What will it take for these supporters to walk away?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the United States of America owes Mr. Wesley Snipes an apology, because if you're going to let this man get, what was it, $71.9 million in a return back from you, and he's giving you $750 twice in 2 years' time,
Mhm.
but you want to arrest Mr. Wesley Snipes and destroy his career because of maybe a few $1 million?
Right.
Yeah, that's a travesty. Or is it the color of his skin? I don't know. Maybe. Something about this man reminds me of Jim Jones, if you know who Jim Jones is, and had the followers and they all drank Kool-Aid and died, you know, that whole situation, that whole way. It's very cult-ish, him and his followers. It's like no matter what he does, they're willing to walk off the cliff for him. They're willing to drink bleach for him.
Yeah.
They're willing to put tactical gear on and go out and, you know, attack innocent people for him. This is very crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is, but I have to keep reminding myself that there are blind, and I'm trying to be careful because I don't want to really fully insult them, but just this blind loyalty of idiocy.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, Nancy Pelosi was saying that he is a security risk because how much money he owes, they think he got it from a foreign country, Russia. And you know, they said that if he was trying to get an active security clearance, he would not be able to get it if he was a regular civilian, because the first thing to do is check your finances. And if you owe that much money, they see it as a risk. And so, Nair, what's your thoughts? I mean,
My thoughts on him paying $750.
everything.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, and I echo everything, you know, the two other co-hosts just shared. It's bigger than Donald for me. It's I see people they're attached to these ideals. These people are they have no identity. They've lost themselves completely. So these ideals these are ditch pleas. You know, they're holding on to whatever person is there pushing these ideals of supremacy, superiority, you know, this whole thing that he represents. These are people who have completely lost who they are or never knew, you know, and especially if they're the real Americans, then they definitely probably never knew who they really were. They came here they are here on false pretense of superiority and supremacy. So no, I'm not surprised. He's disgusting as an individual, as a man, and anything else. He's disgusting. So I get where Ms. Parker is always so frustrated when you bring him up. And to me, it's just shit. It is what it is. So I'm not interested, pardon my language, in seeing his show tomorrow, you know, or any part of these shows. I'm not interested. Yeah. I'm interested more in the deconstruction of this whole thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen tomorrow when this all comes up. I mean, he has to answer these questions. You know what I mean? Because you know, at first yesterday he was saying that it was fake news, and then today he was defending why he was able to do that. So
he'll have answers. And they'll sound just as ridiculous as all his other answers.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's take a quick break. We'll come back, more hot topics right back after this.